recording.
Five, like nah.
5, 4, 3, 2,
1. Man, y'all know what it is, the real two tap.
And your man, Marathon Manny,
All praise to God.
for everything, and I mean everything.
And this is another episode of The Real. And tonight, y'all, we got a special guest in the house with us tonight.
Special
He
guest.
does so many things, man. Health and
Sir.
fitness, health and wellness. Just a phenomenal dude. Wake him up, Mr. West, Mr. West. So, yeah, this is West, man. And before we start every interview, we always do the mental health check-in. How you feeling, West?
Man, blessed.
Yes,
Another
sir.
day, man. Another
Yes,
day.
sir.
Can't
Yes.
complain at all.
Yes, sir. I like that, man. How you doing, Mr. Marathon?
Man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling blessed, bro. I can't complain. Working hard, a little tired. But we here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The work don't stop.
I'll tell you, man. Work don't stop.
How you
man.
feeling, bro?
As for myself, like I always said, been saying it from the beginning of time, put my 2 feet on the ground. It's a W-I-N. I can't complain, but ain't nobody gonna listen. Just super blessed.
Sir.
Super, super blessed. So, Wes, let's get into it, man. This is a question we ask every guest. Who are you and what do you stand for?
So who am I? I'm West. Health and fitness has been my passion, kind of my purpose. So it's been something I love doing, and ultimately I help people just be the best version of themselves.
Yes, sir.
And so it's been something that for a while I've been tapping into, not only for helping other people, but doing that for myself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like that, man. I like that.
So what got you into health and fitness?
So pretty much, I was telling Kyrie pretty much I was always active growing up. Football was my passion.
Okay.
So that area of my life, just trying to be healthy and fit for the game, was something that I always had. But over time, I went to play college football. I had a different approach when it came to fitness, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily trying to be a good football player. Now it was about being healthy. Pretty much about me. Health when it came to my family, not necessarily the best. My mom had diabetes. Dad had high blood pressure. One of my older sisters, she had cervical cancer, right? So I grew up in a family where health was just it was like an issue, right?
Yeah.
It was never a prioritized, so seeing it within my family, it was like, damn, why is everyone in my family going through these issues? And so I kind of took on that responsibility of all right, I need to make sure I'm my best, my healthiest, so I can take care of them. And so I kind of just had that mindset where, I got to make sure I'm pouring into me, making sure I'm my best self so I can, be there for them. And then it kind of just went over to helping other people do the same.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wow. Phenomenal, man. Phenomenal.
Yes.
So, yeah. Go ahead, man.
So how long you been on this fitness and health journey with yourself? Like, when did it start for you outside of playing sports?
So once I got done with school, it was probably about 8 years ago,
Yeah.
really figuring out what was next, right? I always saw working out was at one point an outlet as a sense of relief. So that's the only thing I knew. And so going to the gym, working out, it was just something that just made me feel good. And so I kind of had to find myself and recreate myself, starting with my physical body, right? I'm a big believer in we live many lives, right? So not only physically, but the day-to-day, habits. What was I doing 8 years ago? Definitely not what I was doing this time around.
Yeah.
I was smoking, drinking, hanging out with the wrong people. And so, I always had this vision for myself of what does the best version of myself look like when it came to health.
Yes,
and
sir.
so taking that responsibility for my family, if I was doing what I was doing before, I wasn't able to take on that responsibility to be there for my family. I wasn't ready. And so I always just believe every day just trying to just do better.
Yes, sir.
And so my mindset with health was just listen, at the end of the day, this is all we have. And so I'm constantly in that mindset of just I'm always just trying to grow, always just trying to be better, be healthier. But that's kind of what the journey's been. It's just been, I'm still doing it, right?
Right.
I know
Still a
I feel
journey, yeah.
I feel like
Right.
a newborn baby. I'm always just learning and growing. So
sure.
I don't have it figured out. But
Absolutely.
8 years ago, shoot, you couldn't tell me I'll be
Doing what
where
you're
I
doing
am
now.
now,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And so just trusting the process and, just doing in the work daily.
Wow. Yeah, phenomenal, man. Phenomenal. Yeah, phenomenal. So, Wes, I see you on Instagram, you're very big on Instagram. It's you're on a spiritual journey type thing. You be walking, you have your hoodie on and stuff like that, man.
Yeah, you be in the zone,
yeah,
man.
you in the zone, man. So
Yeah.
talk about how that came about, man. What made you want to spread your message to the people?
tapping into like the spiritual side.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool that you said that, like, cause I've always just believed that we're guided through some sort of higher power, right?
Yes, sir.
And everyone believes what they believe. By all means, there's something out there that's guiding us in the right direction, right? There's that voice. There's that moral compass that's kind of pointing us to the right direction. Like, you know, when you do wrong,
You feel it on the
you feel it,
inside.
right?
Yeah,
So
right.
it's like if it's your conscience or whatever it is, you might hear a voice. Like I've always just tried to do what's right by listening to that voice. And when I don't listen to that voice,
You feel it.
You feel it, right?
For sure.
And so when I am guided and I'm trying to just do what's right, then it's like, okay, that's taking me in the right direction. So spiritually, it was just like, all right, I just need to do what feels right for me. I need to do it every day. I don't want to hurt nobody.
Yes.
You know, I don't want to do nobody wrong. I don't want to lie to nobody. But I'm not perfect. But there's things that I had to go through. Karma, I believe karma's a thing. There's things that I put out that I had to get back in return and go through. But then once, just through time, I feel like time heals. Pretty much time heals everything. You know, once I moved on from what I had to go through, it kind of just created more peace. Like more peace of mind, right? You know, just waking up and just feeling like, all right, I'm not hurting nobody, and I can just, you know, just be of better service to other people. And so spiritually, man, like even this year, bro, I think honestly, like, a goal of mine is just to build a better relationship with God.
Yeah.
And I've never really been into like religion or anything. I just, you know, wasn't my route, but I just, you know, whenever I'm going through some stuff, I just talk out loud and I just pray. I just know somebody listening to me.
Yeah.
Somebody up there.
Somebody out there,
Yeah,
high
so
power,
Do you meditate?
I meditate.
Yeah, for some reason, man, you have this.
Yeah,
for
right,
me, this
yeah,
energy
calm,
that looks
yeah.
like, it's called like equanimity. Where it's
Yeah.
like you just have a certain just calmness through, you know what I'm saying? Like even your whole facial expression, everything, just, like you look like you just like calm and just like in a sense, like have a sense of peace. You know what I'm saying? That's why I asked if you meditate, because people that meditate or, you know, pray and take that time, and we was just talking about this off camera, solitude. Solitude is a very good medicine.
Yes, sir.
And it looks like, you know, you spend time with yourself, man.
Yeah, definitely. Like I think that's where it starts. You know, time with self to learn and reflect, and you know, it was just hard for me to sit with myself. And I think that was definitely a challenge. Like, you know, I would try to be intentional, but it was hard for me to sit with myself for like 5 minutes. So for like a good, like let's say 8 years ago, I tried meditating for a whole year for 5 minutes. It was the hardest thing ever.
Wow.
You know, just like so many thoughts popping up, just distracted, just, you know, just
Mind, bro.
you know what I'm
It's
saying?
the mind. The mind and itself is like two different things, and it's like always fighting each other, bro.
Like your
it's
mind
really-
stronger than your body, man. I'm
Yeah,
telling you, because it starts here first, you know?
Straight up.
Yeah, for sure. So, well, let me ask you this, because you said you grew up in a Cambodian household. How was that experience, man?
You know, I'm extremely grateful just the way my parents raised us. You know, they came here to America to just give us a better life.
Yes, sir.
Right? And so it was just more so, you know, we gave you this, we gave you, you know, this opportunity just to be here. And how we grew up, you know, we kind of, you know, based on our environment, you know, we grew up, our environment, we had people where my parents kind of let us do our own thing. We had to kind of learn through just doing it,
trial and
right?
error,
Yeah. And so I'm the youngest of 3. I got 2 older sisters. And so, like, my father, you know, may he rest his soul, like, he passed away in 2021. He played a big role. But
My condolences, man,
yeah, he just played a big role in just, like, just trying to lead by example. Whether good or bad, it was just, like, I was a big observer growing up. And so, like, in the household, you know what I mean? You know, we grew up having food stamps and all that stuff. So it wasn't necessarily anything different, like culturally.
Right.
I tell you the truth, like I don't really know too much about my Cambodian culture. I've never been back to Cambodia.
Wow.
Yeah, but I want to.
Okay.
Right. And so my parents, they did a great job just raising us. But as far as like the culture, other than me being the boy in the family, just trying to protect, provide, just trying to be, you know, trying to be a good man and take care of family. Like family's big in my life.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm family oriented.
Yes, sir.
And so if there's one thing I learned from my parents, it's like family first.
Yes, sir.
Everything else, you know, take care of itself.
Real talk. Real talk.
That's
Real
big.
talk,
Being
yeah.
family oriented is very special.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, man. So let me ask you this, man. So what are some things you don't like about like working out, or some things about coaching? Because you know, I love working out. I love being fit. Like, because every day you don't wake up feel like doing it, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm telling you, yeah.
Yeah, nah, I'll be honest with you. Like, there's still days where I just don't feel like doing it.
Right.
You know, it's just the discipline.
Yeah.
You know, I think something that really, like, I've learned was, like, discipline sets you free, right? Doing the things you don't want to do,
Yeah.
knowing that it's good for you,
Right.
But that initial moment is just like, this shit's going to be hard.
Yes.
And you just got to kind of choose your heart. You got to choose to suffer how you want to suffer. But when it comes to self, it's just like, I feel like health is like a gateway to set yourself free. Like when you're physically healthy, mentally healthy, emotionally healthy, you know, you tap into these levels of life where it's just like you have a different mindset and approach to just how you do anything.
Yep.
Right? It translates into business. It translates to personal life. Right? Like if I personally feel like if I wasn't healthy, it would be hard for me to be married.
Yeah.
Just maintain that relationship.
Wow.
Own a business. You know, just these different principles. It's just like I feel like it's all connected when it comes to just being right within yourself. Like when it comes to health. So that's kind of how my mindset has always been. So I like. When it comes to anything, it's like, hey, the money, whatever, that's gonna come. But your health, you gotta get that stuff.
That's
right.
that's the most important thing, man. Without the health, you can't do nothing. Health is the real wealth.
Health is the real wealth, man.
For
You're
sure.
right about
For sure.
that. So, how long have you been a personal trainer?
So this would be kind of, say about 8 to 9, 10 years. Like I started kind of just like doing it just to help people,
Yeah.
and then you realize, oh, like people getting results, people are wanting to pay you. So I didn't really like, you know, it's just like kind of
It's like,
you know,
I'm on to something.
yeah.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
for sure,
So
for
it
sure.
just kind of grew into that, and just always just trying to perfect the craft when it comes to that.
Yeah, and you also do some football coaching as well, right?
Yeah.
So I have a question in regards to being a trainer and coaching. Like, what's one of the main things how is some like a way that you are able to motivate the people you're coaching, whether it's through, you know, exercising or, you know, them on their field. Tell us about like a way that you're able to motivate them and like, you know, bring the best out of them.
That's a good question. Yeah, I'm big on, you know, just trying to serve and just make an impact. Right? I feel like the game is bigger than the game itself. I think at least my mindset, you know, winning and all that stuff is cool, but then like at that age, given the opportunity to help these like high schoolers, it's just about helping them just be good, great men. You know, I think understanding how the game itself can translate into life. And so as a coach, I feel like it's my responsibility to teach that. You know, the game was cool. Like I was a head coach, and I could have went the route of just like doing that traditional. It's about X's and O's. Like I kind of been out the game since I stopped playing. And so my mindset when I came into coaching these guys was just like, listen, you just got to make sure, you know, you just do right outside of school. Like football can be a way out, but you know, not necessarily trying to think about football as like a way to. And I wouldn't say nowadays it's just different because you can make. I mean, it's a good way to make a living and provide, right? But that isn't the only way, right? And it can be a vehicle for people.
Absolutely.
And so just realizing, like, giving them these tools, like I really just made sure, like, I'm always just checking in with them. I just see how they really feeling. It was just like these little things that I would do daily, just always asking them and just giving advice, just outside of just like the game itself. That really like I felt like I was able to impact them and just connect on a certain level, other than just like, oh, you're not in practice, you gotta run. You know, it's just like really instilling just like why you gotta like learn to do certain things and you gotta move a certain way when you're late, like understanding consequences, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And try to translate that.
Cause and effect.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
as well.
Repercussion.
And
Yeah.
so, you being, like, cause you kind of answered another question I had for you, but as far as being impactful in their life, how does that make you feel as a person, like when you know that you're having a good impact on people, whether it's big or small?
It's hard. It's a fulfilling feeling. Like it fills me up. Like you know, mine's like forget the money. It's just like I get an opportunity to help somebody.
Absolutely.
And that feeling right there, I'm sure you guys felt it. It's just like being able to just be in a position to help somebody where you know you can alter their life. That one person in your life saying that one thing can change just the trajectory of just how you do things moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a blessing. I think gratitude, always just being grateful I got to do that is important. And so
Real talk. That's phenomenal, man. That's my word tonight. Phenomenal, phenomenal.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. What is your day-to-day like, man? Like, what time do you get up in the morning, start your exercise? Like, what is your day-to-day like, man?
Yeah, so I've learned like routine is very important, right? And so I always like to take time to spend with myself first before I take care of anybody.
Yes, sir.
So pour into
Self-care.
pour into yourself first before that. So I have a morning routine. I wake up 2:30, 3 in the morning. And then that's just time with me.
You wake up at what time?
2:30, 3 a.m.
Is
time you
that
go
what
to
time
sleep?
you start your mornings?
That's what time I start my morning.
Wow.
Yeah,
All right.
So what time you going to sleep?
So it's been weird, right? Probably not consistent how it should be. Some days it's like 11, 10. If I'm with my girl, we spend time in the evenings because like quality time with her.
Right.
Important.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
At one point it was like I'm in bed. If I'm not up, I'm not out. Like I don't go out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But probably I try to get in bed at least 9, 10.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I
That's
mean,
not
I
too bad.
have read in books that you're like when you're like that zoned in, like really focused, like you get your life just how you said that discipline.
Like
It's
my
like
Uncle Lance.
your body does not need a whole 8 hours.
Yeah,
of
that's
sleep.
not at all. Not at all,
You know
man.
what I'm saying? They tell you your body needs 8 hours, but if you're living to your, you know what I'm saying, to your full potential, like you don't need a whole 8 hours. You can sleep 4 hours
Yep.
and
And be
be
good.
well
Exactly. Because a lot of people still sleep 8 hours, still be tired. You wake
Man,
up.
people sleep 10 hours and
still be tired.
you still be struggling to get out of bed. So it's not about how long you sleep, it's about how you living, man. That's real
For
stuff
sure.
right
Real
there.
talk. Real talk. Yeah, that's real. So yeah, man.
So I want to and I feel like you be able to speak on this, men's mental health, right? It's a topic. It's not really paid attention to enough, and the reason why I thought about it is just like recently seeing somebody. I didn't go to school with the person, but somebody like was struggling. A gentleman was struggling with mental health, and
R.I.P. Jagger.
yeah, R.I.P. to him, and he took his life. Was struggling mentally, and it's like sometimes we don't pay attention enough to the mental health of the person next to us, or like our own mental health. So I mean, what is something that you could say about that, and maybe like a piece of wisdom that you could share with it, and encouragement.
Yeah, I think it's not talked about enough. But then us men, and it's okay to like be vulnerable and kind of express whatever it is that you're going through, right? I think a lot of times we just I don't know how it was, but like at one point at least I've learned like expressing yourself wasn't normal, and you kind of had to take it to the chin and whatever it is you had to go through, get through it, right?
Right.
But then it's just like the reality of it, like what's your outlet? How are you able to actually deal with these things in a healthy way? And so, if it isn't dealt with, you end up breaking, and then, so trying to really seek an outlet is important, a safe outlet, not necessarily things that will, hurt you, coping with things that, vices and stuff, like not necessarily that route, but there is ways that may just have to take time to understand yourself to feel like, oh, maybe working out could be a potential outlet. Being around good men with the same mindset, right? And sometimes I wouldn't say it's hard to find. It's just you got to put yourself in these environments.
Yeah,
Which
sure.
can take us being
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's necessary. But there is people like that who do care for each other, who want the best for each other. And so you kind of just got to get out a little bit, but just do kind of just like figure it out as you go. But I think that's always something that, I've always just, even for me, it's like I've gotten better at, because like I had to do the work in solitude and really like such things like fasting and removing things in my life to really have the clarity to see what I had to deal with. So it's just like, yeah, it's definitely something that isn't talked about enough, but it should be. So I feel like it is very important.
For sure.
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
Oh,
I
phenomenal, man.
respect
For sure, for sure, man. So yeah, like Manny was saying, a lot of people don't talk about mental health because it's like as men we gotta have so much pride. We can't be soft. We can't be weak. And if you are weak, you looked at as a coward and stuff like that. Then when people take their lives, you know, like the young brother Jagger, man, it's like wow, everybody wake up now. Yeah, so shout out to Trill, man, because he always talking about mental health month and making posts and stuff like that.
Man.
So my question for you is, like, what keeps you motivated? Because you seem like you got everything together, man. What keeps you motivated to keep going hard every single day, man?
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And you know, just realizing it's bigger than self,
Mm.
right? You know, we wake up, we're alive. You know, what's the reason, right? Why do we keep waking up? Why do we keep, you know, getting to experience life each day? I feel like, you know, it's to really serve one another, right? And I feel like it's a gift. Like we all have a gift to help one another. And so what motivates me? And motivation is really hard to say. You know, some days I don't want to be motivated. Some days it's just hard to get up. Some days it's just, you know, I feel like, damn, like it's a lot. You know, it's taking on a lot. And
For sure.
And it's just like I try to auto-suggest and flip the switch. Like, you know, it's not about me. It's about, you know, being a better service to other people, right? You know, I think just always reminding myself, like, gratitude, just being grateful, you know, because, you know, the way this life can be set up, it can be a lot. But then when you can be of service, help somebody out, have a conversation like this, you know, that can potentially help somebody else. You know, that's what it's about.
Yes, sir.
You know, and making an impact and, you know, sharing your story and everything, just knowing that we have something that can help somebody else. And I just always just kind of remind myself that. And on top of that, like I don't have a family yet, but I know I got to be my best self to be ready for that.
For that, yes, sir.
And so that's pushing me. You know, I can't wait to have kids.
Yes, sir.
And everything.
Yeah,
you know.
me too, man.
Like, you know,
For sure.
So I know that version of myself, you know, to take on that is just like, you know, it's keeping me going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, real talk, man.
I love
Real
that,
talk.
man.
Yeah.
It's motivational to hear you talk. Like,
for
you
sure.
get me excited.
Yeah, for sure.
Nah, that's
Real
dope,
talk,
man.
real talk, man.
I do want to ask you, like you know, like he was saying, like you married, right? This day and age, it's like marriage is like it's kind of crazy now. Like, you know, not even just marriage, just more so like this whole dynamic of how men and women are at each other's
Like a
necks.
war type
yeah,
thing.
and it's like how do you feel like you're able to like live in harmony with your partner, and what brings you joy out of it?
I mean, you know, I'm grateful for her because she lets me continue to evolve
Yes,
to
sir.
who I want to be, right?
Yes, sir.
You know, I think we all have this vision for ourselves, and sometimes, you know, as we work towards that vision, it may not align with other people in our lives to help support that vision, right? And so really understanding, like, you know, with her, I was able to just, like, express how I feel and what I was working towards, and she lets me grow, and I think that's important, too. I think giving us, in any relationship, not even, you know, with your partner, you know, any friendship, if you give each other an opportunity to just grow and understand that we're all on this journey trying to figure out just life and what we want to do, then if it's meant to be, you know, it's going to be there.
Yes, sir.
Right? And so, like, I've been with my girl on and off for, like, 8 years, and, like, it wasn't all perfect. You know, I was trying to figure myself out. You know, there was a point in my life where I was like, I didn't know if I wanted to be married. Like, I had trust issues, right?
Right, yeah.
You know, like
Right,
these little things, but then I realized, like, it was me. Like, I had to do the work, the inner work, to even see that in a different perspective. And so, you know, just when it comes to marriage and everything, it's just like, we just constantly have to keep doing the work on self.
Yeah.
And the way it works is just like, again, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I'm a
Facts.
big believer in energy, and so, like, if you take care of yourself and you do what you need to do, you'll attract the right one.
Big facts.
And it'll just happen, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Real talk.
So my
that's
mindset
dope,
was
that's
just
dope.
like, I've always wanted to be a husband.
Yeah.
You know, despite what society and the way things are right now, like, I've always just felt good, just like to be a committed man. Like, that's something I've always
Real talk.
visioned
Real
for
talk.
myself.
Real talk. That's the crazy. I ain't never seen nobody break it down like that, because always so, like, we so easily manipulated and brainwashed. Like, you know what, man, you know, forget these women. Then you got the women, forget these men. And it's like sometimes, like, seeing people like you know what I'm saying? Like, it gives people hope. Like, whoa, it can actually happen. It's just that you got to go against what society is saying. Because there's still people out here that's getting married all the time. You just don't see it. It's just that we see divorce, from the celebrities and stuff, but that don't have to be your life. You know? So, yeah, that's big, man. That's deep. Congratulate you on that, man. For real.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, the negative stuff is always going to be broadcast the most. It's going to be promoted the most.
And nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. So all that trying to have a fairy tale marriage, it's nothing perfect, man. Nothing is perfect. Understand that. Yeah, for sure.
Man, you got something right now?
Well, I want to say, like, what are your goals, like, just, like, in life? Like, this year, like, what are you trying to do? Like, what is your biggest thing you trying to do for this year?
Keep making an impact.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, bro, it's just like the day-to-day, if I can just help one person, whether it's through fitness, whether it's through coaching, just conversation. I think, at one point I had a vision, making X amount of money. It's, like, cool, but then, like, once you do it, then what? You just got to continue doing the things that got you there. Sure. And so my mindset is just, like, that routine. I'm big on just habits. And so, I went through, like, a removal process of just, like, my day-to-day is real simple. Like, I'm a very simple man. And I just do the simple things every single day. I work out, making sure, I take care of me first, and then I kind of just see myself. I see life as, like, just being an offering. So every interaction I can get, whether it's through in-person conversation, Instagram, or, a connection online, I'm just trying to give.
Yes, sir.
And so I know that impact, just planting that seed will pay in return, right? And so that's kind of how I approach it, and it's been a blessing. So, like, this year, just keep doing what I've been doing. Stay consistent with that. Be disciplined with that. And then life will pay in return. Will do its thing. But that's kind of how my mindset's been. On top of, like, building a better relationship with God, like, that's my goal. I don't know what that looks like, right? But I'm trying to pray every day. I'm trying to, like, do these different things, listen to, like, these speakers, and see what that leads to. Because, like, I feel like that spiritual side, it's like there's no limit. And so if I can tap into that even more, what does that look like?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah.
Man.
That was deep, man.
Yeah.
Hey, this been a good one. Hey,
That's real. That's like,
for sure.
I ain't gonna lie, but, like, that's, like, real touching to hear you, say that. Just like you say, like, make yourself an offering. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I'm gonna get into that question later, but, like, that's a part of the whole thing where it's like I really sit there and, like, I believe in this is that, we're not here to take from life. We're not, we're here to actually contribute to this, and that's, like, you just kind of, like, broke it down in that aspect, man. And like, I see that you, like, you have this like, real humble demeanor, right? And I just wonder, like, what's, some of the hardest, if you care to speak on it, some of the hardest experiences that you've, faced in life that may have been humbling, grounding, or, may have been, just some of the best lessons.
Yeah.
And, from the outcome.
So I was actually, it's crazy you asked me. I was just thinking about this morning. So the left side of my arm is just people who've passed away in my life, right? So I think my journey, I feel like we learn a lot in life. Life teaches these lessons. I think death was a early lesson I had to learn in life, right? So, losing people at an early age really made me question, like, there's these thoughts of, like, why not me, right? There's people that I care about and I lose. I'm trying to understand death. I'm trying to understand, like, so that was, like, a big part growing up, Ty, who was, like, an older brother to me, he got shot on the bus.
I remember that.
You remember that? He was, like, 14.
He was a teenager. He got killed on the bus. Like,
just random. It's crazy.
Some dudes just shot him on the bus. Like, it was, like that's when I was young, too. Man, that's
crazy.
Small world.
Yeah.
I didn't know him personally. Rest in peace to him.
Yeah.
But,
so he definitely, it's crazy. But that was, like, at such a young age, right?
Yeah.
And so getting to experience, like, he was older than me, so, like, I was probably, like 10 or 11. But that was, like, a brother to me. Like, I didn't have any brothers growing up. So, like, I was, like, one of my brothers. So he passed away. There's my other brother Josh. He was like a lot older than me. Again, like he was in the streets, but then that's how he lost his life in the streets. And so, you know, that was like a big. Again, it was a month after Ty got killed, so it was like a back-to-back thing.
Yeah.
And then coincidentally, like I don't know, my dad's name is on the same side too, and so he passed away 2021. And so, but I think that experiencing death early made me really like just question and just like kept me like curious to like, why is this happening? Is it bigger? Like what's life trying to tell me, right? And I've learned a lot from him, and it really kept me grounded because like it made me appreciate life more.
For sure.
It helped steer me in the right direction to where I'm not in the streets.
Yes, sir.
You know, because brother lost himself in the streets, and so it's like, all right, let me not do that. Let me just try to stay focused. So it helped kind of guide me to kind of do the right thing. But then it's just like now it's just like, you know, just being completely honest, like I don't necessarily fear death. It's just like if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I'm a big believer. Everything happens for a reason.
Yes,
so
sir.
again, still waking up every day. Damn, like another 24 hours. I get to come here.
Right,
That's a
yeah,
blessing, bro. You know
I'm
what I'm
telling
saying?
you.
Like,
We just talked to
you know
that.
what I'm saying? So tomorrow, hey,
Yeah.
if I wake up tomorrow, hey,
Hey,
Hey, this
I'm
plus,
telling you,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So-
for sure.
taking it day by day,
That's the one.
not thinking too much about, you know, it's good to think about the future, but then trying to make the most out of every day.
Yeah, for sure.
That's kept me
Focus
like,
on it right now.
mhm,
Yeah.
has
You're
really
not
kept
being
me-
too caught up
Yeah.
in what is not even here yet.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I gotta do this. I gotta, man, just focus on right now, man.
Facts.
Yeah, just get through the day, you
That's
know?
it.
So let me ask you this, Wes. What age would you say you knew yourself? Because you seem like a person that's sure of yourself, like you know everything about yourself. What age you had that reality, like, whoa, this is who I am, man?
You know, I wouldn't say it was like a certain age or a certain moment. It was just like a combination of just like work that I just had to do and I couldn't avoid. And so, you know, once I really just like removed certain people in my life that kind of distracted me to really focus on myself, that was a moment. Cutting out drinking, cutting out smoking, it wasn't serving me. Had to, you know, that was a moment.
Yep.
And then more and more, again, as I'm learning, it's just removing things that just don't serve you. And so when I started removing more things that didn't serve me, I started focusing on the things that did, working out, feeling good, you know, focusing on business, trying to just be a good man. Like, the more I did that, it was just like, okay, like, I'm figuring it out, but I don't have it figured out. Like,
Right, yeah.
you know, but the path is getting clearer. It's just like, little by little, it gets clearer. It just keeps going. Mentally, I feel just more at peace each day. You know, okay, that's kind of pushing me towards that. So like, again, you know, I wouldn't say I have it figured out, but 8 years ago, 10 years ago, where my mindset is at now, it's like now I know what I truly love to do, what I want to do, and now just making sure I don't give in into the distractions and let
Yeah.
that steer me off the path.
Yep.
Right? Because when you get to a certain level, it's just like
Yeah.
it's very easy to,
Yeah.
to attract.
Yeah.
You know, again, just we attract good, but then you know whether
Yeah.
it's the devil and stuff, still like
The,
you always being tested.
temptation.
Yeah.
Shaitan.
Yeah.
Shaitan is
Test.
always
Mhm.
rampant. Yeah.
Yeah, so always being tested, but just preparing myself to take on that whenever you know it happens. So that's kind of how I would say going through these journeys
Yeah. No.
helped me figure it out.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Great answer, man. Great answer.
How old are you, by the way?
28.
28, yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, young,
yeah,
wise,
I'm telling you, yeah.
man.
beyond wise, beyond years, man. For real.
That's what I tell her, man. Age don't matter,
Yeah, it's, man, I'm telling you, man. They say age ain't nothing but a number, man. For real.
Man, you got 60-year-old fools. You
I'm
got
telling you.
20-year-old geniuses
I'm
out
telling
here,
you.
bro. Like, it's real stuff.
And if you go back in the beginning of time, a lot of those young guys, man, that built this world, just these great philanthropists, man, they was super young, man, about 20, 21, 22 when they really started doing early 30s, you know, so it's no excuse, man, you know. Look at West, for example, you know.
Yeah, in his 30s.
I'm
man.
telling you, man. Imagine when he get in his 30s, boy, take over the game. Yeah.
So, you being a trainer, you own your own business. You own your own personal training business.
Yeah.
How has that journey of being a business owner been for you? And what's the name of your business, by the way?
Yeah, shout it out.
Yeah, so the name of my company is Life of Gains. We actually just opened our physical wellness and athletic club in Hinesville.
Oh, okay.
So
Congratulations.
Yeah,
thank
for
you.
sure,
So
man.
this
Gotta
past
clap it
year,
up.
just got that. So we finally have our first spot. and so business is such a it's a cool perspective to have for me. You know, I really got into fitness because I loved it, right?
Yeah.
And so now we go into business. We're official. We got the LLC. Cool. But my mindset isn't for profit. It's just more so the impact. And so now I guess I'm just more legit because I can make it more impact in a more official way. But as a business owner, I know it's going to take more responsibility. You know, right now it's my partner and I. We're holding it down, but you know, the vision is to provide more job opportunities for people who want to get into training. And you know, this being our first location, we can see ourselves growing. So as a business owner, it's just like knowing like, okay, sometimes, you know, the numbers are important, but me, honestly, like, it's cool having a partner because I'm just like vision-driven, faith-driven. Like, I've put us in situations where put us in so much risk when it comes to business because I understand the vision is bigger than that. You know, the money and stuff, it's going to come. If you just do the right thing, invest the time, put the right energy and effort into it, it's going to pay back in return. So being a business owner is cool, right? You know, it's a different, you know, just way of life that I would say is just kind of different because now you get the opportunity to just have more, just more control than doing what you're doing, right? But honestly, maybe it's me, like, still figuring it out. Like, I'm blessed that I have one, but, you know, I just wake up and just know I got to do 3 things: take care of myself, help someone else, you know, help family, and then just try to just help and give to other people. Like, I don't really try to be too focused on, like, the analytical stuff.
Yeah.
But it's cool, but then it's nice to have someone else part of the business who does that stuff too.
That's
Real
dope,
talk,
that's dope.
real talk, the real.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry, my mind all over the place with this, but like, I want to know, like, you know, so it be so much going on with the world, right? So many distractions, like you were saying, like temptations and whatnot. What is something that helps you not get caught up in this, you know, just the world, like just the shit that, excuse my language, the shit that don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like the distractions and the, you know, like it could be whether it's a TV drama, like, you know, gossip, celebrity gossip, whatever. Like, you just not getting caught up with the world, with the BS that's going on in it. Like, how, like, what is something that helps you not get caught up in it?
It's kind of like that conscious we were kind of talking about, right?
Yeah.
I think more and more as I kind of like keep going down that path, little things that could distract me, there's that moment when that voice comes up and it's just like that feeling of like regret, right? It's just like if I get tempted by, you know, something that's gonna weigh me down, I'm gonna regret it. And I had that voice tell me that, you know, it was gonna be something that's gonna potentially steer me off track. And so if I give into it, that feeling of regret is just gonna, you know, kill me. Like, it's gonna hurt me, and it's gonna weigh tons. And so listening to that voice, really not reacting right away. I think, you know, sometimes at one point in my life, I was a very reactive person.
Yeah.
Now when things happen, before I even do anything, I'm like really processing and really thinking things through, and making sure, like, you know, if it feels right, you know, pursue it. If it doesn't, just trust it. You know, just trust it. And if it's a missed opportunity, another door will open.
Absolutely.
But that listening to your conscience is definitely something that keeps me on path. And again, I don't know what that voice is, but it's just something that's just telling me. I don't know if it's God, you know,
for
but,
sure.
you know, just like, just do right.
Yeah, for sure.
But just know that stuff is gonna be there. It's gonna come.
Yeah, just stay the course. Yeah.
And if it does, and if I do give in, I'm gonna learn from it.
Mm.
You know, but I have to accept that and I have to feel whatever emotions that it puts me through. But then I can't dwell on it. I gotta move forward, learn from that lesson, and just keep going.
Good answer.
Yeah,
Good
for
answer.
sure.
Good answer.
For sure. Yeah, man, that's a heck of a brother right here. Heck of a brother right here, man. Wow, wow, wow. If you could change one thing in this world, what would it be?
In this world,
Yeah.
man, that's a great question. You know, I wouldn't really. I mean, I feel like everything is just kind of unfolding how it's supposed to.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
of course, you know, there's that vision like things,
On a perfect world, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But then let's just be real, like if everything's supposed to happen how it's supposed to, right?
Big
It's
facts.
unfortunate that we're society, life has these circumstances that just hurt people, it's all that stuff. But it's just like, if that's what it is, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that feels, but like I can't, it'd be nice to change, make things perfect, but it kind of is what it is.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
That's real.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
I'm telling you.
That's
real
dope,
talk,
man.
real
That's
talk,
dope.
real talk. Man.
Before I get into this last question, right?
That's Manny question right there. Yeah, that's his question
Just
right
one
there.
more before that is more so like, a goal in as far as like impact and like you said through fitness and health and coaching and stuff. Like what is like something that you like see yourself doing on top of what you're already doing now to make more of an impact?
I really haven't really thought too much into that. But I know there's ways I can tap into different platforms and opportunities that would only make the impact even more greater. And so always just trying to, welcome opportunities where I can give more, and whatever that looks like, right? But, yeah, as far as that, like, honestly, it's just like doing what got me here. If I just keep doing it, I don't put a timeline to anything. It's just like, it's going to happen when it's happening. Like, again, I don't know, a lot can happen in a year, but if I just keep doing this, I feel like I'm in a place now where I know what works and I believe in it. And I know it's manifested multiple times of me just doing the daily work of what I can just keep doing for myself and just give. And so, I don't really, know too much about that, but just what I just got to keep doing every day.
Yeah.
Keep stacking these days, stacking
Yes,
these wins
sir.
daily.
Like that.
Man, stacking the
Dope,
wins.
dope,
Yeah.
dope. Stacking the wins,
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
Before we get out of here, man, like
Let's
to
go,
ask
let's
this
go.
question, like what you we just talked about just now, is life is very much about contributing, leaving this place a better place than it was before we got here, right? And it's about just putting your all into it. You know what I'm saying? Because nothing that you gain here is going with you. Aside from I believe the spiritual, like the spiritual gains, that goes with you.
Right.
But the physical, the impact, the energy that you put, all of that stays, right? So, legacy, that's a big thing for us. What do you feel like is your legacy or the legacy that you're building right here, right now with all the work that you're doing? And it's very good work. So what do you feel like is your legacy?
Could you dive in a little deeper in terms of like legacy, right? I'm curious.
I mean, just you as a whole. Like, what you're doing, what you feel like your purpose is, and how do you feel like you what kind of legacy you want to leave behind?
Yeah.
Or, just build while you're here.
Creating the man I admire, and then just giving myself to the world, right? So that person that I wish I needed when I was younger, right? What does that man look like? Talking about mental health, encouraging me to open up more, encouraging me to not give in on these vices and trying to steer that young Wes on a path of just like, this is what you should do to help get you where you need to go. So for me, it's just like healing myself so I can help heal others. But really creating that man. Like, what does that? We all have this vision of what that version of ourselves look like. And so I think if I can just continue to become that man and lead by example, I think I'm a big believer in just leading. Right? It's great to share the wisdom, but if you can talk the talk, right, then it's a little different. You move a little different.
Yeah, sure.
And so being that person, moving like that person, and then, you know, when I have kids, you know, they would learn from what I was able to do, you know, and just leading. And same with clients and stuff, like whatever it may be, wherever room I can be in, I can walk in a room and just know who I am, you know, and leave an impact just by just becoming the person that I admire. And then when the time is up, the time is up. But I did everything I could to be that person, right? So I would say.
That's a great answer, man.
Yeah, that was good, man. That was phenomenal. Yeah, that was phenomenal, bro. Damn. Wow, this is a good episode right here, man.
Yeah,
we
man.
gotta definitely get you back on here, man. For real, man. This was good, man.
And
And,
this was just the introduction to my
that's
man.
all it
Wes,
was,
right
man.
here.
We got many parts coming soon, man. So this was amazing, man. So just want to say thank you for
Yes,
coming
sir.
on, man. Thank you for dedicating your time, man. This was a great interview, man.
Yes.
And there you have it, man. Mr. West. And this is another episode of The Real.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Stop the jump.